Good morning, everyone. This is Sanjayan. Today we are going to discuss about Nike and Adidas. They are my group members, Nathashiya, Umair, and Salman. So we'll go to the presentation now. This is the title page, Nike versus Adidas. These are the table of contents. First, we are going to see about introduction, and secondly, internal analysis. So under internal analysis, resource analysis, and final analysis. So secondly, we are going to discuss about external analysis. Under that, vessel analysis and Porter's 5-force model. Next, SWOT analysis, and finally, recommendations. This is the introduction part. First, we discuss about Nike. The Nike is coming under the apparel and accessories industry, founded in January 25th, 1964. The founders are Bill Bowman and Phil Knight. Their products are athletic footwear, apparel, sports equipment, and other athletic products. Their products are related to the sports items. Mission is to bring inspiration and innovation to every athlete in the world. Next is Adidas. Industry is also coming under the same industry, apparel and accessories. Founded in July 1924. Founder is Adolf Dassler. Adi came from Adolf, and Dassler for Das, so Adidas. Products, footwear, sportswear, sports equipment, and toiletries such as personal care items. Their mission is the Adidas Group strives to be the global leader in the sporting goods industry with brands built on a passion for sports and a sporting lifestyle. Their vision to enhance social and environmental performance. Their social responsibility is resembling here in the company and the supply chain, thereby improving the lives of the people making our products. They are the leading brands. Nike, Reebok, Adidas. They are having over 80% of market share. And the other companies, they are not comparable with these three companies. This is the US market, US footwear market share. Actually, if you see here, Nike owns Jordan and Converse, and due to high sales of Jordan and Converse, it contributes high market share of Nike. And if you focus Adidas only owns Reebok. So it does not contribute much to the market share. It is a disadvantage for Reebok. Now my friend Salman will take over the presentation.
Thank you, Sanjayan. I'll be discussing the internal analysis, where I'll be discussing the resource analysis and financial analysis. This information will be used to identify the SWOT analysis as a summary at the end. So moving on, first we'll discuss resource analysis. Thereby we have categorized these resources into three, such as physical resources, human resources, and intellectual capital. And when speaking of non-current assets in the form of property, plants, and equipments, Nike has around 3 billion in non-current assets, which is almost twice that of Adidas. So which means that when they want to invest in some new projects, they would not have much risk than Adidas. And when speaking of the production capacity, both Nike and Adidas has high production capacity because of their global operations. The method of production is outsourcing for both these organizations. This provides them lower cost of production and due to the low cost of labor. And when moving on to human resources, both organizations has over 50,000 employees, which shows that they are rich in human resources. And to contribute to that, they have a low turnover due to their high reputability, high salaries, and even job satisfaction. In the form of intellectual capital, their patents, actually Nike has over 5,000 patents, which is around 3,000 more than Adidas, which gave them a competitive edge in selling their products and also by marketing. And also it created a brand value for them of $15.9 billion, which is also higher than Adidas at present. Now we'll discuss about the financial analysis, and you could see here there's an infographic which was adapted from 2014 World Cup, where the point I want to stress here is that during that period the profitability of both these organizations was somewhat similar, but however since that period there were some strategies adopted by Nike which made them superior than Adidas. And also Nike has a higher marketing prowess than Adidas, where they spend over $8 million per day in their so-called demand creation. That's through marketing. Their products are instant hits over the world, where still Adidas is still trailing behind Nike. When you look at the market capitalizations of Nike, you could see that since 2013 their sales have grown almost twice, and currently the sales are at $86.3 billion, whereas Adidas has lost sales during the recent past, but however by 2016 they are having a better growth than Nike. Now we'll be discussing the ratio analysis. Before discussing the ratio analysis, I would like to mention that Nike has a working capital of $9 billion US dollars, whereas Adidas has a working capital of $2 billion US dollars. However, even though there's a bigger gap, this does not signify the success of any of these organizations. Therefore, a ratio analysis was conducted in the form of to identify the working capital, the profitability, and the gross profit of both these organizations. Therefore, comparison is shown here. Primarily in Adidas, you could see that the current ratio has increased from 1.15 to 1.39, where there's an increase of 0.24, whereas in Nike, there's an increase of 0.20. So, even though Adidas has 0.24 higher than Nike, we could see that since it's more than zero, both the working capital of both these organizations are really good. When speaking of profitability ratio, which is also return on capital employed, you will see that Adidas has a percentage increase of positive 3.49, whereas Nike has reduced their profitability, which is a negative 10.95. The reason is that the shareholders fund has increased, which means they have retained earnings and they have invested in future projects. So it means in the long run, Nike will have better profitability than Adidas. And here's the gross profit ratio of both these organizations, where both the values of Adidas and Nike are at positive levels. However, Nike has a better percentage change of positive 1.9 from 2014 to 2015. However, both the profit margin of both these organizations are over 44%, which means that they could reduce their selling prices of products by 44% and still earn a profit. So that's it for my internal analysis. Now, Umair will take over.
Thank you, Salman. A very good morning to my dear lecturers and my dear colleagues. I'm here to discuss about the external analysis, which includes the personal analysis and purchase by forces. So, while moving to the first slide, I'll be discussing about the political factors. The political factors means the stable political climate in most major markets. It's an opportunity when it comes to the markets, the countries which have stable markets, stable economics. They can with this the countries, these industries can move on to expand their trade and expanding free trade policies. Because of these policies, the opportunities for the industries to move on to more countries, more worldwide, to other countries and expand their business and expand their market. And improving government support for infrastructure, it's also an opportunity because the government will support these industries to do their operations wherever they want. And when it comes to economical factors, economic stability of developed markets, countries like USA which have a stable market, it will help these industries to grow slowly and steadily. And rapid growth of developing markets, it's an opportunity plus it's a threat, because rapid growth of developing markets may lead the developing countries to develop more, which will end up in the threat of high labor cost, which will increase the labor cost, and these industries they outsource most of their products. So if the labor cost is more, and they will have less profit. And the opportunity is they will have a standard employees. working employees under them because of this. And slowdown of Chinese economy. Means mainly Nike is facing this problem because of this slowdown of Chinese economy. And the next slide I am going to discuss about the social and technological. The social, it's increasing individual wealth in developing countries. That means because of the industries can help the developing countries to develop more, means by individually also means. So an increasing emphasis on product safety, or means these both industries, means Nike and Adidas, they are working so hard to produce the products which high safety, so people would love to, means people would like to use them. And improving positive attitudes about lectures, it's also an opportunity. And when it comes to technological, increasing research and development investments among firms, it's a threat. And because these Nike and Adidas and other companies, mostly these two companies, are spending so much of money, so much huge amount of money in research and development, because of this they are having to keep the competitiveness, they are spending lots of money. So it's a threat for them. And rapid technology, obviously it's opportunity, because people will they will adapt to the new technology, and people should come with the new technologies. And widespread of use of mobile technology. For example, Nike has come with an app in which we can customize our shoes, and we can just interpret our name in it. And the environmental and legal factors, expanding environmental law. Because of this law, these industries can save save their patients, their brand name, because of these laws. And climate change opportunity, climate change opportunity, and increasing sustainability strategies among firms. It's a threat and it's also an opportunity. Legal, it's improving employment law in developing countries. It's a threat and an opportunity. By improving this, as I mentioned before, there is chances of more labor cost, and it's an opportunity because, as I said before, they will have standard people of work. Standard means high level of employees working under them. And expanding consumer law in developing countries. Because of this, they will be able to produce more safe products, and expanding health and safety regulations. When it comes to the Porter's 5 forces, the competitive rivalry is strong, low market growth rate, high aggressive of firms, and moderate number of firms. Low market growth rate means these firms, these industries are targeting more into the market which has a low growth. And high aggressiveness of firms, these industries are fighting so hard to be competitiveness and achieve the highest market share. And moderate numbers of firms are only available to compete with these two, because they are the top players, Nike and Adidas. And suppliers power, high overall supply is weak, because it will reduce the power of the supplier power of the individual. And large population of suppliers, it's the same. It's also weak because it will reduce the population of, and moderate size of individual suppliers. It's moderate. And threat of new entry. It's really weak, because the placement they have set, the name they have, the brand name they have set is it's really hard. They are top players, and it's really hard for the new players to come in and just compete with them. And threats for substitutes. There are other brands like Puma, Reebok, and everything, but people can switch into them for low cost. But still, Nike and Adidas are the key players, and they are providing the best apparel and shoe footwear. And the buyer's power, low switching cost, and moderate substitute availability. There are normal level of moderate and small size of individual buyers. And thank you. And the next slides will be continued by Nathashiya.
Thank you, Umair. I will be discussing about SWOT analysis. After the information analyzed from the internal and external analysis done by Umair and Salman, we have summarized the SWOT analysis, and here I will be discussing about the strength and weaknesses of both the organizations. When it comes to both the organization, the strengths they have, Nike and Adidas both have global brand, And in Nike, they have the ability to sell through products through demand and creation, which means they are very strong at their marketing. But when it comes to Adidas, you can see it's a weakness for them. They have poor marketing. And Nike also has a strength, which is they are very strong at research and development. As Salman said, they have over 500 patents in 2015, which is difficult for them, for others to copy them. And they also have a strong employee base, which is around 60,000 employees, and they get a good output from these employees. And also another similarity of both the organizations is that they have low cost of production, which means they have been outsourced. The company has been outsourced. Weaknesses are that deny poor labor practices and working conditions, and their income is heavily dependent on the footwear market. And for Adidas, you can see they have a limited product line which they only own Reebok, and employee productivity is less. This is when comparing with the number of employees, the revenue is very low with them. And you can see that the similar weakness is that they have high price products in the market, which means it's a weakness because they cannot cater all the customers. Moving on to opportunities and threats, Nike and Adidas both has brand endorsements which are very strong. Famous people like Cristiano Ronaldo, David Beckham, some of them have life endorsements. And Nike has the ability to expand their products related to sportswear, and they have emerging markets such as China. When it comes to Adidas, they have a new product introduced, which is an eco-friendly product, such as the Adidas Eco Boost shoe. And as you can see, the similarity opportunity is that they both can change the lifestyle of the consumers. When it comes to threats, high competition is with Nike, where the Nike's profitability has been reduced during 2015. Both organizations has a tendency exposure to currency risk because both of them are multinational companies, and also the fake product availability in the market, which you can see there's with Nike it's a high, Adidas is a high risk, but when it comes to Nike there's a moderate risk. This is because Adidas has been established far before than Nike has been established, and they both have moderate impact on government regulations. Moving on to the recommendations, according to the final summary, there are few recommendations to be discussed, and here the recommendations are for Nike should improve their profitability over time. The reason is Adidas is acquiring their market share in the recent times due to the brand endorsement and their superior designs. And regular inspection of labor working, they have to protect their brand value and avoid the legal problems coming up. Focus on apparel sector because the footwear market growth is very low. And with Nike, they have to be very concerned about this point, which is a poor revenue as I discussed earlier. And improve marketing techniques. The main competitor, like Nike is their main competitor, spends substantial amount on marketing. So that has a positive outcome on their sales. And focusing on the protecting identity, this is they should engage in production techniques such as providing tags, barcodes, so that the reason is that Adidas has the highest counterfeit products on the market. So in conclusion, both Adidas and Nike are at the top of their market, and they are doing things right, such as technology utility, value creation and demand creation. That is the end of our presentation. Thank you very much.